As data scientists, one of our biggest jobs is making new variables and creating new features. Today I want to talk about making a big mess of new features and new variables, and then cleaning that mess up. First, let's put some data in a dictionary, and then we'll use pd.dataframe to put that data in pandas. As we look at this data, we see we have three variables: Fahrenheit, cups, and miles. Our task will be to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, cups to liters, and miles to kilometers. Converting Fahrenheit to Celsius involves subtracting 32 and then multiplying by 5/9. We can implement this conversion using Python's list comprehension. We'll say f minus 32 times 5/9 for all of the f in df Fahrenheit. When we run this code, Pandas provides for us a new feature. The next feature we create will be a conversion of cups to liters. The formula for converting cups to liters is to divide cups by 4.277. Again, we can implement this using Python list comprehension. We'll say C divided by 4.277 for all of the C in df cups. And when we run this code, Pandas again returns to us a new feature. The last conversion we have to do is to convert miles to kilometers. The formula for converting miles to kilometers is to multiply miles by 1.60934. We will again use list comprehension in order to accomplish this. After all of that work, we have an updated data set. Now we have Celsius, liters, and kilometers. The problem is that the variables are not located next to the other variables that we are related to. For example, it would be nice to have Celsius located next to Fahrenheit when we display this data frame. Likewise, liters next to cup and kilometers next to miles. There are a variety of ways to move columns around in a Pandas data frame. The problem with most of them is that they're generally not very replicable. In other words, if you were to change your code around, the references that you use when doing this work will sometimes change over time in such a way that if you were to change the name of your variables at any point or change the order of your variables at any point before you start moving columns around, you'll probably experience key errors. One of the best ways to avoid these key errors is to define a new function. Let's call the new function move_calls, and let's give it several arguments including df, calls to move, ref calls, and also place. I will put a link in the notes to this video that explain the contents of this function, but they simplify the process of moving variables around. Here we look to implement the function. To implement the function is relatively easy. You set df equal to moveCall, df, columns to move, where you include a list of the columns that you want to move. Then you name a place that you want to move those columns relative to your reference column. A major advantage to this method is that you can move multiple columns that are located throughout the entire data set to a single place, and you can do it in one line of code. Don't forget, you're more ready than you think you are. Hit subscribe, check out these other videos, and let's connect. I look forward to being in touch.